Okay, everyone, the plane is ready to take off. Let's go. That was not planned. We are so excited to be here. Oh my goodness. And I'm nervous. I'm nervous. That's probably a good thing. Okay, we're so excited. We're just going to say it over and over again. We're so excited. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you to those of you who are watching the recording. Right now, as we start, we want to first shout out people who have been achieving some pretty exciting things. And while I am shouting out the people on our team, please type in the chat where you're tuning in from, because that's really fun to see. So I'm tuning in from Kansas, right near the border of Missouri, if anybody's curious. All right, so let's shout out. Um, so Cheyenne Holstein, I hope I'm saying your last name correctly. Please forgive me if I'm not. She's a senior gold, and she and Ann Fitzgerald, who is a senior silver, they both were on the company leaderboard for business growth. Two of the top people in corporate in our company on the leaderboard for, I think it was last week. So that is absolutely fantastic. They are representing our team so well. And I know Cheyenne is in the US, I'm pretty sure. Anne is in Canada. So we have people from two countries representing our team on the company leaderboard for last week. Super cool. All right, and then I'm going to shout out people who have been earning, who have so far earned the $150 cash incentive for November. That's going to get paid out in December. And if your name is not mentioned, please don't feel that you are being overlooked. Please shout yourself out in the chat, okay? Or sponsors, shout your people out in the chat as well. So I'm shouting out Sharon Mitten, earned her $150. Summer Evans earned her $150. Abby Larson earned $150 cash. Alana Donovan earned $150. Alexis Clarenbeek, Melissa Post, Lindsay Nelson, Morgan Klingler, Sharon Mitten, Summer Evans, and Wendy Larson, our Diamond Upline leader. Okay, hang on one second. I'm looking at the chat. Okay, that is so cool. Shout out to Christina, who is a brand new VIP as of 1 hour ago, and she's here on our first community huddle. That's history in the making. So that is so fun. Okay. 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 All right. I'm going to start here. I'm going to start with a quote because I like quotes. And if some of you have been on Zooms when I've talked, you know that I like to use quotes. So I'm going to start with this one quote. It's more of a definition for the word resilience. Okay. The capacity of a person to maintain their core purpose and integrity in the face of dramatically changed circumstances. The ability to not only overcome setbacks, but to also move forward. Okay. We are in a business, an opportunity where we get to learn to be resilient. We get to learn to have resiliency. That is not something I knew coming into this 11 years ago. All I wanted to do was to earn anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month to be able to produce some breathing room in our bank account so that my overworked husband would have some breathing room and being able to we'd be able to buy groceries a little bit easier. Okay. That was it. That's all I saw. All right. And praise God for women who had already been in here, who came and shone lights into my life and helped me dream and think so much bigger than I could ever imagine. Okay, so let's start. You are here because you want to grow, right? You want to work with friends. You're here on this Zoom to get motivation, probably inspiration, advice, like how do I grow this business? Okay. How do I rank up? How do I get people to want to do this with me? All right. Maybe you're looking for that key to achieve the next rank. because for many, many months early on, years ago, I was looking for a key, some magical potion. Seriously, I'm not kidding you, that I could consume and then sprinkle, and I would rank up. Okay. But that's not the thing. There is no magical key. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about this. All right. Why did you start Plexus? Yeah, you started it for a reason. Um, Most of us started it for products, right? Some of us started it for the business. Most started for products. Some people started it for products, open-minded to the business. Some people started it for products, completely closed to the business, swearing they would never, ever do this. I love those ones, by the way. They are amazing. Okay. But you started Plexus for a reason. And eventually, at some point, whether it was right away or eventually down the road, you chose to build a business for for some reason. What is that reason? What is that reason that you are here and you are open-minded if you're new to building a business, earning income, or if you've been here for over a decade, it doesn't matter. Why are you choosing to build this business? There is a reason behind it. You're not just doing it to get more money. Okay. We all need more money. What is the reason why we need the money? Okay. So another question I have is, do you take your reason why out daily, weekly, and hold it and think about it and look at it? Okay. So what can happen is that we can get very involved in our income producing activity. And if we're not careful, it can become mundane. It can become, may I even say, purposeless if we do not hold closely and to ourselves and we don't think about it a lot, our reason why we are doing this. There has to be a reason why, okay? What are you working for? What would your life be like when you achieve your why? Okay. What would change? It might be a very simple thing. Most of the time, it's very small, simple things that would change, but those small, simple things would change everything, if that makes sense. For someone, for example, it could be that they are working full time and they just don't want to work full time outside the house. They really want to be home for a certain reason. They want to be able to wake up and and plan their own day and work their day out instead of being forced to work for someone else. Okay. Your why can be simple. It can be quiet. It could be family focused. Okay. It could be this large mission focused reason why you're working this. It could be others focused. It could be that it's not even about you. You just so badly have certain people in your life who are working this with you that you want this for them because you see what it can do for their lives, and that's your why. Okay. It is your reason you choose to put time into working this. Okay. So I'm going to tell you my original why, and then I'm going to share my new version of my why. Because for a while, I didn't have a new version. I had the original one, and the original one still applies, but I've realized that I'm actually living in my original why, which is kind of mind-blowing when I stop and think about it. Okay, it's just bizarre, almost surreal. All right. Okay. Um, Over 11 years ago, all right, I was 29 years old, and my husband Adam and I, we had a 2.5-year-old little girl who just turned 14, and a 1.5 week old newborn baby. And I finally was ready to enroll and purchase my triplex. on a very tight budget. Actually, there was no budget. But Adam said, just do it because you've been waiting. We need the products. We'll share the triplex. Obviously, we don't encourage sharing products. Like, we want everyone to have their own products. But you know what? Desperate times, you guys. And we shared a triplex, but we got a triplex every month. And he said, we'll just make it work. We'll figure it out financially. Because we didn't have room to buy extra things. Like, we had just enough to get like groceries, pay the bills, keep the lights on, that kind of thing. So I clicked join through Monica Hollister's website, asked her if she had any discounts, and she did not. She had done these like her own, because Plexus didn't have a ton of discounts back then, you guys. Like every month they have discounts, okay? They didn't have discounts back then. I paid what, $35, $34.95 to enroll, not $9.95. Okay. And then I bought my little triplex welcome pack. And I remember saying, "Do you have any discounts for me?" She's like, "No, sorry. I ended my discount thing I was doing." Like, "That's okay. I'll do it anyways." Something like that. All right. I still did it because I was like, these are supposed to help. Okay. These are supposed to help. All right. And before I enrolled, she had talked to me about earning income. She was brand new at this. I think I asked her probably very blunt questions about how much she had been earning. And she was earning some money, but she was brand new herself, maybe like 2 or 3 months in. It wasn't very long. So she didn't have months and years of experience in this. All right. But she was earning some money. And I just so desperately wanted the reassurance that if I put in the work, I would earn money because we needed money, because I wanted to see my husband's face light up with relief that he could cut back on hours at work. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to pay for things without stressing out. Like, I just didn't want to have overdrafts anymore. Okay. I wanted him to have relief. That was my goal. And so I started Plexus, started the products, jumped as much as I can remember. I jumped into team stuff unknowingly, knowing nothing, zero social media influence. I knew nothing. Okay. I came in with a poverty mindset. I came in with a lot of people pleasing, which, by the way, is very selfish. Worried about what people would think, but oddly enough, determined to pursue this in the face of all these fears of the unknown. And praise God for Him putting this dream and this drive in my heart and allowing me to learn, fumbling through, making messes, sending the most annoying messages to people, and learning messily. Because you guys, that is the only way you will learn. I'm going to just stop here for 1 second. You will not become successful in this if you are seeking perfection. There is no perfection. There is no perfect message. There is no perfect number of people to message. There's no perfect way of posting or doing stories or a perfect phone call, or there is no such thing as perfect. You have to put in the work, and you have to be totally embrace the fact that you're going to do it and it's going to feel awkward and uncomfortable. Okay. So my original why was to bring relief to my husband, financial relief, bring in some money, because I had been working outside the home. I had been contributing financially and I loved that feeling. I I loved the idea of being a stay-at-home mom and earning money. I was like, best of both worlds. Like, and cherry on top, impact. Somewhere deep inside me, myself, whenever I would scroll through Craigslist way back in the day looking for work from home, I had this little thing inside me that was like, it'd be really nice if this somehow could impact me, be something meaningful, not just like typing data in for people and getting a paycheck. Like, some meaning behind it would be fabulous. Didn't even, I never voiced it. God knew it. I'm blown away even thinking about it right now. Okay. Put in the work. All right. Still putting in the work. Here we are, 11 years later, and my husband works from home. 4 years in, I started earning full-time income in Plexus. Okay. That was able to sustain our family. All right. So it was about little less than 4 years in. All right. It started from zero. It started with a little bit of money coming in, and then it gradually grew. And then sometimes it dipped, as is normal, by the way, and it steadily grew and became full-time income. Okay. And eventually, my husband was able to be present with us and cut out of the construction trade of his own choice and now works from home with us. That was my original why, and now we are living it. My new why is we need more income because we need to be able to say yes for our kids more. We need to be able to start bringing them on Plexus trips and other trips. They are much older now and they are hyper aware of the fact that extravaganzas are amazing things. Going to convention is a really cool thing. Cool things happen when mom goes away. We want to go too. I want to bring them on trips. I want them to make lifelong, deep friendships with my Plexus friends' kids. I want them to be, I'm just kind of being very bearing my soul here, you guys. I want to be sitting around a pool in Hawaii and I want to take them to the little lunch shack around the corner. It's not a shack. They're pretty like nice little ritzy lunch shacks and say, let's go get some shaved ice and get Dole Whip on top, not sparing any expense for all four kids. I want to get lunch around the pool. I want to be able to say yes to things that are just fun, beautiful things instead of always saying, no, I'm sorry, we can't afford it. No, we can't afford it. Not yet, not yet. I want to be able to have a house that has enough space so that it can be a safe landing space for people in our lives that need somewhere safe where they will have feel the love of Jesus, where the coffee pot is ready to be put on at any moment, where I can stop work because I have the freedom to do that and have conversations. I want to be able to host large family gatherings. I want to be able to have a guest room. I want to be able for people to come stay. I want to be able to host big Plexus events and make them scones. Okay. I want to be able to have a team that works with excellence and wisdom and has a solid work ethic with a lot more women doing that. Okay. So this is my new evolved why. Okay. I could stay right where I'm at, but for many reasons, I would be capping my own team, which is terribly selfish, and I would be also capping my own family. All right. So the only thing between you and your why is the work and the time. The work and the time. All right. And we're going to end this here in just a minute. But one thing I want to encourage you to think about is some of you are working really hard and consistently. Some of us may not be. And one thing that's easy to fall into is that we can think and think and think. Like we can think about Plexus all day long. And we're like, we're working because I do it too. But I want to challenge you to take personal inventory and think, am I really working? Am I actually giving this the time and space it needs so I can, giving myself the time to message people, to sit and get better, not sit, but sit down, make time to get better at posting, at marketing, at reaching out to people through stories? Are you making the time to reach out to more people, inviting them to Plexus? And some of you are working full time, and some of you have just really full schedules, probably not like mine, okay? And you have to work around the things, but it takes what it takes. If you have a pretty big why and reason for wanting to do this, it's not going to be accomplished on 30 minutes a day. And I just got convicted saying that. So, One day, the mountain that is in front of you will be so far behind you, it will barely be visible in the distance. But the person you become in learning to get over it, that will stay with you forever. And that is the point of the mountain. Okay, we talk about mountaintops and that being like the success time and all that. But what this quote is talking about is who are you becoming in the process? Because if all we are focused on is get to the next rank, get to the next rank, we are doing ourselves and our teams a disservice if we're not willing to develop ourselves, mature in the process, build a thicker skin, become more resilient, develop discipline in multiple areas of our daily life in regards to working this business, perhaps getting up early, perhaps going to bed early, perhaps learning when to get on our phone, when to put our phone down. All you see diamonds up on stage, they got there not just because they got more no's than you did or I did, but because they also learned discipline, work ethic, and patience. So it's not just one thing, it's multiple things. Okay. And you are completely capable of learning new things. You are capable of learning new things. It doesn't matter what things were like for you prior to starting Plexus. Okay. I can't tell you, I don't know where we would be if it wasn't for Plexus. I don't know where I would be mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I don't know where I would be physically. Oh, it would be a mess. Okay. Just be willing and make yourself start learning new things. Develop skills. Develop a work ethic. Okay. You guys are capable of this. You can rewire how you think. You can rewire how you act. Okay. I used to say I'm not a morning person. Guess what? My alarm goes off at 5 a.m. I don't necessarily get up right at 5 a.m., but I get up by 5:30 a.m. Okay. I used to hate exercising. Hate it. Hated gym class every week in school. Hated it. Hated that I was the slowest person who ran the mile. I didn't run, I walked and I gasped for breath. And now I go out and power walk and jog. You can learn new things. Okay. You can also come back from defeat. You can also rebuild. Okay. You're okay. One more thing and we're done. Hard work always pays off. Not instantly, but eventually. Not instantly, but eventually. Although we do know how to help you start earning cash pretty quick if you're willing to put in the work pretty quick. We do know how to help you do that. But on the long term, it does pay off eventually. And a bunch of us on here can attest to that. So, all right, you guys, this is the start of the plane taking off. All right. We need you on here because your face, your name brings energy. Okay. The more people that are on here, you are a huge support. Get less people, it quiets down. You're like, oh, you guys don't need me. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. No, you guys, your presence matters. Every single one. How many do we have on here tonight? 38. Next week, it should be 50 or more on a Monday night. Okay. If you're not in the We Mean Business chat, please tell us, one of us, and we'll add you. Okay. This is a new schedule we are going to be keeping for at least a year because we need everyone. We want to help you grow and be successful. And we want to make this as simple as possible and duplicatable, which means everybody can do it. Not someone high and fancy, all that. Okay. Everyone can do this. We want your presence on here. You matter. You support us. You are encouraging to us. It means a huge deal when you're on here and you make the time to be on here. So that's it, you guys. The plane is taking off. Are you coming with us? All right. Have a wonderful night.